In my rave today, I'd like to focus on learnings from a number of projects that I've been involved with over the last few years, and that involves marine wildlife watching. And two particular types of marine wildlife: humpback whales migrating along the east coast of Australia, and also white sharks migrating along the southern oceans to around Port Lincoln. And the research in these areas has grown because of the increasing interest in watching marine wildlife from Australia's rich diversity of marine wildlife. And these regional industries emerged because of the regular species migration and proximity to the coastline, with humpback whale numbers now increasing to about, recently I heard Peter Harrison saying that it's pre-whaling figures, that the chances of sighting humpback whales is good to very good. And the white sharks are also species which have conservation status and protection status, and they travel along from Western Australia along the southern short oceans, and they feed on the baby New Zealand fur seals. So the chances of sighting white sharks is also very high. So we engaged the services of the tourism operators in both of those regions, which are important to generating income in the regions, providing livelihood for the operators and their staff, and injecting funds into the regional economies. Typically, these operators are small business operators, and some are formerly fishermen, providing fishing charters. Some are occasionally dive operators. Many operators didn't initially see themselves as being in the business of tourism, but that view is slowly changing. Some of them collect limited customer information, and many take the view that they provide a one-off experience for people. So the idea of repeat customer visitation is not something they maintain exists. So there are implications from that perspective for service delivery and customer expectations. Sighting the species is what operators see as the only reason people are on their boat. So our research engaged customers in discussion of their onboard experiences to determine what they hoped for, what they thought about the trip, and what didn't occur. And a consistent point from across the customer data is that people thought there would be more discussion about the species. And so interviews with many of the customers, several hundred across a number of projects, revealed the absence of a species expert was something that surprised people, and it disappointed others. But as small business operators, onboard staff are employed as deckhands first. They deal with safety and boat operations primarily, and they provide service as a second issue, handling hospitality responsibilities, giving general species information, and answering questions. So these sorts of findings led us to further research, and we found that with discussions with the staff on board these operations, that they educate themselves informally about the species using the internet as their primary source of information. And essentially, they build their knowledge from the questions which are asked by customers one day, and they use that to drive their information knowledge growth for future charters. No formal training program exists. In the white shark industry, the operators are quite separate and they run quite independent operations. Often it's a fairly competitive and antagonistic situation. But one is looking to provide a video for the 2 to 3 hour trip out to the Neptune Islands, and another is improving staff species knowledge and information. But the challenges of running small business means the operators have 1,001 other priorities, and they maintain the view that most customers don't come more than once. But with public fascination with viewing marine wildlife continuing, we look forward to working with these operators to advance species education and interpretation systems to become part of their programs.